Hi, this is Joe again with another video. Now, of course, some time ago, quite recently actually, I did a review of the individual movies of the Karate Kid television, of the Karate Kid movie series. Now I'm going to do a review of which is really the next chapter in the Karate Kid saga, and that is the Cobra Kai television show. It is on YouTube Red. But unfortunately, I can't do a full review on this because I've only seen like 2 episodes. Because the other episodes, if you want to see the other episodes of the Cobra Kai series, you have to subscribe to YouTube Red, and you have to give them credit card information and all the other stuff. I am not going to give YouTube the credit card information, even though I do the reviews on my channel, over 900 videos on my YouTube channel. I prefer not to give them my credit card information. And so I'm stuck on watching just the 2 episodes, and plus whatever clips that YouTube puts out on the free site, because you have to really pay to see all the other episodes, and because the YouTube Red is an internet site, and I do wish that before season 2 comes, because they did renew it for a second season, I do hope they release all the episodes from the original series on the first season, so that we all could watch it and maybe pay to see the second season. But anyway, now let's go to a long introduction for that. But for the Cobra Kai series, I think for the 2 episodes that I've seen were quite interesting, because it takes place obviously 3-4 years after the original Karate Kid movie, because the original film came out way back in 1984, and it was a sleeper hit. And it was spawned a series of sequels and a remake in 2010, a god-awful remake in 2010 with Jackie Chan. Excuse me. So, and of course, and also don't forget that back in the late 80s and early 90s, in the late 80s and early 90s, during the height of the Karate Kid movie series, there was also a cartoon series that Ralph Macchio and Miyagi, and they had Daniel and Miyagi in it, but it has very little to do with the original series, and they continue that story in the cartoon format. And it made like a real crazy action adventure cartoon series. But for Cobra Kai, it takes place, like I said, 34 years after. Of course, those of you know the title Cobra Kai, that was the title of the karate dojo in the Karate Kid movie series, where Daniel was originally wanting to go and be a student there, and find out that all the bullies the karate bullies was beating them up all the time were students in the school. So that Daniel, and of course he was in the dojo in the 3rd film for a while, getting trained by Terry Silver, and for a little bit in the 3rd film. But of course, obviously since then, I guess the Cobra Kai dojos went out of business, I guess, in the 3-4 years after, or the almost 30 years since the Karate Kid 3 came out, because it went out of business, I guess, for good. And now, the guy who Daniel beat in the tournament for the first time, John Lawrence, now all of a sudden he's a drunk, he's an absentee father, he doesn't pay the alimony, and he's a drunk and everything else. He's a loser, and he goes around and he finds out that Daniel has a. Excuse me, there's my other phone going off. Kind of embarrassing here. That Daniel has this used car lot business. All of a sudden, it goes from being a karate student to opening up a bonsai store. But I guess that fell apart, I guess. And he now runs a bunch of used car lots. So when John Lawrence sees this, He says, "Oh God, I can't believe he has a used car business. Oh God, I can't stand this." And he sees a commercial on his TV. He's trying to shut off or change the channel, and his remote doesn't work. Or the TV remote doesn't work, so he gets all kinds of mad about it, and it has some humor in there. And then you had, of course, Daniel finds out that this, and then of course Johnny sees this kid getting beat up in the parking lot, and because Daniel, or seriously Johnny, decides to reopen a karate dojo and calls it Cobra Kai. Again, he uses the name Cobra Kai for the karate dojo, and at first he has trouble, paying the rent, the rent, and getting the money to pay for the lease and the rent, security, and all that stuff, and renovations. While he's trying to do all that, he sees this kid getting beat up in the parking lot, and Johnny saves this kid's ass. And this was a kid who was interested in Daniel's Ruse's daughter in this show. And of course, you realize that Daniel is now married. He has a couple of kids, and one of them was interested in this kid who got beat up that Johnny saved, and it was really kind of crazy playing on what was going on in the original movie. And then he finds out that, you know what, you're seeing this kid, and Daniel said, I don't want you to see this kid because he's being trained. He finds out he's being trained by John Lawrence for karate, and he says, why not? And then he eventually tells his wife and kids his history. And he said, oh, you mean this is that guy who you beat in the tournament? And his wife said, and Daniel says, yeah, this is the guy. And he tells him some of the backstory of what happened, and that's really about it. And of course, he also goes into Daniel's backstory. And every time somebody buys a car for his car business, he gives it like a little bonsai tree. I mean, seriously? And of course, Daniel has all this confidence now because he was able to win twice in the tournament, and throughout the three films, and all of a sudden doesn't have that crazy persona that he had in the third film. Believe it or not, he's like completely downplayed from that, and it was really cool. And also, it was really cool to see the two of them reunite, Johnny and Daniel, and there was a clip when the two of them almost got to reunite their, the fighting, and the wife's, and Daniel's wife puts a stop to it, and that was a pretty cool thing to see. And like I said, there's plenty of these little clips, and the funny thing is that Daniel later on, as they find out from these clips, that Daniel trains Johnny's son for the karate, and they still have this karate tournament. All these years later, they still have this, the karate, the All Valley Karate Tournament, and I found out that Johnny's karate student, beats his son. So Johnny is conflicted. So, hey, I don't want you to beat my son and all that stuff. But I guess Daniel feels, hey, it's funny to tweak Johnny's nose a little bit and train his son. So you had that stuff going on, and then of course the kid that Johnny was training does win the tournament. Famous square with how he, sweep the leg, put him out of commission, type thing. And I don't know if the kid actually won a fair or square because I didn't see the full episode. Like I said, the reasons why for it, but the last scene in the last episode, which is available on for free on the free part of YouTube, you see John Kreese coming back, the original thing, and he says, remember, make his knuckles bleed. He said, and he's smoking a cigar or whatever. Said, welcome, hey, welcome back to the faith. This was like 32 years before, 32 years earlier, he kicked him off. Kreese kicked Johnny out of the karate dojo and beating him up in the parking lot. So I guess like 32 years goes by and forgives him or whatever. And since they use the name Cobra Kai and stuff. It's probably just saying like, say, hey, you're not allowed to use the name. You copyright that name Cobra Kai. You're not allowed to use that and all that stuff. Who knows? Maybe in the second season to do all that stuff. But it is kind of interesting to see a television format of the Karate Kid, or at least the next generation of Karate, for the Karate Kid for this generation, really, because it is still a good movie. It is still a stereotypical '80s film, an '80s film series. Because all the movies took place in the '80s, except for the next Karate Kid movie. But I think the Cobra Kai series has a lot of potential to be really, really good. And it's unfortunate that the series is on YouTube Red, where you have to pay to see these shows. I think that a show like this should be for free, and I do hope that the powers that be at YouTube decide to put the entire first season on the free side of YouTube before the second season. Start showing the second season. I do hope they do that. I really do like the episodes that are for free on YouTube, and I really do. Like I said earlier, it has got a lot of potential to be a good series. I think John Lawrence is really, really good. He's not so much of an asshole as he was in just about every other movie in the '80s, like Back to School, the Karate Kid movies. And it was really fun to go back to that character, because it was fun, because except for the opening scene in Karate Kid 2, you really don't know what happened to any of those original Cobra Kai students. It's really fun if they could bring the rest of those guys back. It's really be fun to know what happened to the rest of those guys, fictionally of course, in the 34 years since the original movie. It really would be fun to see those guys. Of course, there's one other clip they should mention. They do drill into the passing of Pat Morita, who played Miyagi, who passed away. I forgot when he passed away. I think in the late '90s, early 2000s. I think sometime in the 2000s he passed away. I think 10, 12 years ago he unfortunately died. And you saw a scene with Daniel at Miyagi's graveside, and it also would be fun if they brought in some of the other girls from the Karate Kid movie series into this thing, like Allie or Elizabeth Shue or Robin Lively or the girl from the second movie. I think it really would be fun. That potentially bring a lot of those characters back. True, be a lot of nostalgia involved, but I think it would be fun if they brought those characters back. So that's my review of the Cobra Kai. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to comment. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel up above, and you can catch all my videos on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. That's all WDY and that's C.com. There's a homepage and rally reviewer Christy Moore, and you can check out all my videos on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.